All right, everybody, it's Christopher Titus Podcast. Do me a favor. You want to help us out? Keep this podcast rolling. Make the ChristopherTitus.com page your homepage. Click through the Amazon link whenever you're going to buy some on Amazon, and you can help us out. Also, if you want any kick-ass DVDs full of comedy and joke stuff, go to ChristopherTitus.com. And now, me with the Armageddon Update. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. And today, we need to do the slow clap for the English hooligans who took down $370 million in diamonds from the Hatton Garden safe deposit boxes. Biggest diamond heist in history. And in fact, I think the boys at Ocean's 11 are a bunch of pussy first graders compared to these guys. So these guys broke in at the end of business day on Easter weekend and had 4 days to rape everyone's retirement. Yeah, that's the bad part. And, as always, I love a good heist, but only when a mega corporation like Exxon or Lehman Brothers or Taco Bell gets taken down. Not when it's some English granny who had diamonds from World War II she was saving because her husband gave them to her before he went to fight the Jerrys. Yes, dear, we're going to take old Hitler down a piece, but I'll be back after we show these Nazis what a good English shellacking feels like. So these criminals had all of Easter weekend, 4 days, to clean out $370 million in diamonds. A guard was sent to check out the deposit boxes, but he didn't go inside because, and I quote, "I don't get paid enough." Yeah, that's right. I don't get paid enough to do a job that I get paid to do. Plus, I was eating a goat stomach sandwich and my hands smelled like the lower intestines of a quadruped. It made me happy to know that people are people no matter what or where. Whether you're a Walmart security guard in Alabama or guarding a diamond depository in England, it's good to know that I don't give a shit is universal. So they got away with more money in diamonds than anyone ever has, which means hold off on those engagement rings, gentlemen, because you will be able to buy a diamond in the alley behind the Bloomin' Nickus pub in a few weeks. And to the people who run the diamond world, it's a bunch of crap, man. You guys have inflated the prices of diamonds for years. You guys bought all the diamond mines and you keep the prices up. So now that these guys have stolen so many, why don't we get even with those guys, those criminals that took your valuable property? I say all those diamonds that you've backed up, let's just flood the market. Yeah, and make it so we can get diamonds out of a vending machine when you buy a Snickers. Then the value of diamonds will totally tank, and these crooks that wasted all their time and money will own worthless rocks. Then, also, the killing can stop in Sierra Leone. And my wife can have a 4-carat rock that costs me less than a latte. Ha ha! I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Hey, everybody. Christopher Titus Podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're not eating dinner right now, because this is going to get hairy. I don't know what seriously what I'm talking about. With me, as always, to my right, the lovely Bombshell Rae.
What's up, people?
And to my left, Willie Jello Johnson.
What's up, peoples? How you feeling today?
You sound like a deep-throated.
I've been working on, man. Yeah, I did that throat coat tea last night, man. I feel pretty good.
You said deep throat.
No, he did not say deep
throat. He did, which I totally thought you were going to reference your porn collection again, because that was heavy.
Yo,
last
that's
week.
Classic porn, man. That's like old school right there. That's some old. That's like watching a black and white movie now. That's like, oh, remember that when Laura Hardy was in Deep Throat?
A talkie?
They were not in Deep Throat, but that's a gay. It would be a gay classic porn movie.
Did they do silent porn films?
I'm sure they did. I'm sure they did something like that.
It was probably more enjoyable for men because the women.
They had the nickel things. You put them in.
The women shut the hell up.
They weren't movies. They were those flip pictures.
Right.
Those thing, which is weird because you're standing there at this thing, flipping through this nickel. What they call them, Nickelodeon. You're flipping through this nickel thing, flipping like sexy pictures. And if you get excited, you've got to turn and leave the machine, which is even in those times.
Why would you have to turn and leave?
Hello, sir. What are you excited about? What? Oh, you've turned to leave? You mean you would just masturbate into the machine?
Isn't that what they were for?
Oh, dude, man.
Why
did
you have to say?
Why did you talk that, man?
You didn't have to say that.
Yeah, but that's weird though. But it is a good point though.
Can I
man.
ask a question?
Like porn out in public like that? Did they have booths?
That's what I was going to ask. When you were a kid and they had those, were they out in public?
When I was a kid and I had those,
were they at movie houses?
With the Nickelodeon, they didn't call them movie houses. They called them the talkies, or what do we call them? Oh, I went down to the cinema to watch to watch the serials. Yeah, every week there was a new thing. He was always jammed up in some horrible jam, you see. And he would get out maybe not. You never knew to the next week. So you'd save your nickels and your pop bottles and you'd go down and you'd spend the money and you'd go watch the damn movie. It was phenomenal. It was great. 23 skidoo.
I was waiting for 23 skidoo.
Yo, man, that's like the 20s. He was talking about the 1910 when he was doing right there, man.
Were those things they were out in public?
Like you said, pop
It's
bottles,
still
man.
not
That's a
answering.
Midwestern
You're
thing.
still not addressing.
Am I what?
Were
I
those...
don't know whether Nickelodeons were out. Fetus. Did they have booze? Did they have porno movies in the 1900s? Go just look it up. Of course, I don't know to check your browser history.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you should ever.
Porn from the 1900s.
I don't think. Speaking of Harry.
Right. So anyway, I want to talk about this this diamond heist thing. This is pretty crazy. So basically, what these guys did was they didn't go rip off like a diamond manufacturer or a diamond store. They went to a bank called Harrods or whatever, and basically took everybody's like deposit boxes. So it's like it's people. They didn't go after the bank. They went after people, and they think that it's one of the biggest diamond heists ever.
I kind of love this story because I feel like we're in like the Thomas Crown affair or Ocean's 11.
But
like,
also, it's hard to steal now.
caper.
It's really hard to steal now. I mean, between all the cameras we have everywhere, between stuff they track stuff with, the one thing that you can't mark though is diamonds. Once they've been polished and stuff, you can't really track them.
Tiffany's does.
Yeah, Tiffany's does. There's a micro.
Tiffany's does when you go in and like I'll hand them my ring.
How do you know that Tiffany's does?
Yeah, because that girl got class.
Because I'm super bougie.
Yeah, that's how she know that, man. She the best of the best of the best. Little blue box. Mm-hmm.
So when I give them my ring, they never say, "Who are you?" or anything. They take the ring, they turn around, they look at it, and they turn back and they say my name.
That's pretty crazy.
And the name of my betrothed.
But these guys, they went into an elevator. So the perfect timing. Like it was literally like Ocean's 11. These guys planned it out. They went in the day at the end of business on Easter weekend. They got all their stuff obviously in. They went through an elevator shaft. Went through a 43-inch steel wall or door or whatever. Had 4 days to do it. Had a good Easter ham probably while they were in there. Had a little Easter dinner while they were getting people's diamonds, and then bailed. I love it. And the security guard is my favorite.
They did it on Easter weekend.
Right.
Because it was a long weekend.
Right.
They repelled. They had 4 days.
They crucified them diamonds, man. Trying to relate it, man. You know how it is.
It's not. It didn't.
Yeah, not really.
It didn't
not really.
land.
It was actually really reaching.
It was a bit.
I had to do my look. I'm here on time. Let's leave it at that.
It's a good point.
Okay. Well, we'll move along. So they had 4 days. They rappelled down an elevator shaft. They used heavy cutting equipment to go through fortified doors before they finally drilled into dozens of safety deposit boxes, which belonged to jewelry dealers.
My question is this: did they go? Jewelry dealers. They kept them all in there. That's where they kept all their stock. Okay, but how did they know which boxes? See, that's the weird thing is that even the people in England are like, it sounds a bit fishy, right? I don't believe it's happened exactly the way it happened.
What?
We need to get Michael Caine on the case. Let's go into the are these the lockers here? Right, let's get in there. I don't know how many lockers needs to be open until I can get me diamonds.
$300 million.
Yeah, craziness.
Check this out, though. Because, you always talk about how efficient and non-bumbly British police are.
Yes.
And I just thought it was interesting. They actually named themselves. It's a special heist unit, heist crime division. They named themselves the Flying Squad.
Really?
Yes.
They've named themselves. You can't give yourself a nickname.
The
Here's
Metropolitan Police's
I want
Flying
everyone to
Squad.
call me the Raptor. Can you call me the Raptor? My new name's the Raptor. So when you walk in the room, you say, I'm the Raptor.
I tried
Hello.
that.
From now on, everyone's calling us the Flying Squad. It's the gayest sounding nickname. You couldn't do the whatever you want to call it. You couldn't do the ghosts. You could do something. What else?
I tried it with Bootsy.
Bootsy.
It took with like 3 people.
Bootsy works. You get Bootsy, but you have to be in your Bootsy outfit. That's different. You don't. All right, everyone, you're calling us the Flying Squad from now on. Yes, we will come in, we will fly in, we will solve the case, and we will fly out because we are the Flying Squad. Everyone okay with that?
No, I don't think.
Right, you guys are a bunch of twerps, right? Flying Squad.
You're
Yeah.
not flying.
Right, you're actually not flying.
You're walking.
Right.
You're walking squad.
Right, you're more the walking squad, as I'd say.
Small bumbling
No,
squad.
no. We are the Flying Squad. We fly in, we solve it, and we fly out.
You don't
Please,
fly.
again. We are the flag. We had T-shirts made, and we cannot spend the money on the T-shirts. And we cannot be called the Walking Squad if our T-shirts say the Flying Squad. For God's sake, call us the Flying Squad.
You're not flying. You're fat. How can you fly when you're so fat?
Right, all right. You flippers, you flipper flies, whatever you want to call yourselves. Do it. Just solve the bloody crime. Oh, there's some diamonds in there.
That poor guy. He just wants to be called the Flying Squad.
No, seriously. We spent a lot of time on this.
Your job has nothing to do with flying. Nothing.
Not at all. They have a logo. He brought up the logo. The London Flying Squad. They actually had T-shirts made. Fetus just brought up a logo.
Yo, man, that's like some weak-ass Harley shit. What is that logo, man? It's kind of a weak-ass wings with a London circle on it.
It's him. It's the guy's head over the wings. I don't know why you're a guy that just wants to be called that.
Yes, my head's the perfect circle, and so the Flying Squad. It's not the toughest group ever. Again, let me explain it to
No,
you.
please don't.
Fly in, we solve the crime, and we fly out.
I wish people could see you right now. I wish they could see.
You're crazy, man. Sometimes you get cranked up, and I wish you would stop, but then I also don't want you to stop at the same time. You know when he does that? I don't like that. It's great and it's horrible at the same time.
I think it's just great.
Yeah, thank you. I think that my favorite part of this entire story is the security guard. I guess one of the alarms got tripped, so they sent a security guard in, and he didn't go in. He looked in the window. He just looked in the window.
Yeah, it's all right.
Didn't see anybody.
It looks
right.
pretty nice,
It looks
right?
all right.
Yeah.
It's nobody's inside. So, and they asked him why didn't he go in. He goes, "They don't pay me enough."
Oh.
That's what he said. He goes, "They don't pay me enough to go inside." I looked in the window, didn't see any shadowy figures walking about, and that's how it is. What? Can I look? I gotta go get a sandwich. Plus, I got to watch telly. Football's on.
Some bubble and squeak. Neeps and tatties.
So basically, they're talking. Now, here's the weird thing about diamonds. This is such a weird amorphous number. Well, it's a weird amorphous number because diamonds are
a girl's best friend.
Yo, that's some bullshit right there. That song is stuck in every girl's
Diamonds.
head. I believe that women is born with that song in their head.
Right? They never let it go. I like that you growl it though. You make it sexy.
She do, don't she? You make it sexy. He right.
Go ahead.
So-
Tell us all that you know about diamonds.
Because I
great
had
one.
I had to do something I'd never done before when I got married again. I had to buy a nice diamond. So I did a lot of research.
No wonder the first one hated you.
I was a kid when I got married the first time, man. I think we went to Service Merchandise. There was a place called Service Merchandise.
I remember those places.
And it was so weird because
They were right next to Gafers.
Yeah, they had this whole counter, and you had to go in, and then you had to fill out a little sheet. And then they would come in
The carbon copy?
And then so her engagement ring came out on a belt, like a conveyor
Stop!
belt.
Stop!
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Wait, how much is
It
it?
was in a little box. It was like $175, whatever it was. But then as I got successful, I kept
Like
it as kind of a
170?
yes.
5,000? 175
dollars.
Oh,
Dollars.
dollars?
Yeah, dollar. I was a kid. I hadn't made any money. I like now, and then so I hadn't made any money, and I started that relationship with nothing, and I ended that relationship with nothing.
Oh,
so it
look.
worked out perfectly.
May the
circle
Be unbroken. Yeah, sing it.
by and by.
Oh, Lord.
I don't like when you sing, man. So.
What are we talking about?
Diamonds. So I went to so I called my buddy and he said go to Tiffany's and get he said you get a 20% bump if you go to Tiffany's. I go, Tiffany's more expensive. He goes, no.
You mean a bump, like a boom, like a bing from your girl.
From your girls, like if you get that little blue box, you get. So I do some research on diamonds, found a lot of crappy diamonds, learned a lot about diamonds. There's a lot of crappy diamonds out there, and then Tiffany's has by far the best, and even their quality is great. So I go there, then I do some research into how diamonds are sold and how they're made. Well, the De Beers family bought. They had at one point the De Beers family owned 90% of the diamond mines because the De Beers family figured out if they could own all the diamond mines, they could literally control worldwide the price of diamonds. And now they only own like 40%. So there's some of now the Russians own a big chunk, and then these De Beers family. Diamonds are it's one of the most. It's not even that precious of a stone, or it's the most common precious stone. Is that correct, Fetus?
Yes.
Yo, man.
How do you know?
He just jumped.
Research on it earlier.
Who's we? We did research.
Wait, before we get here, you guys already working? Damn, that's pretty cool.
You guys researched diamonds
What do you think we just
together?
riff it? Me and Fetus did research diamonds together. Yes.
Did you hold hands?
No, he sat over there,
Oh,
but he did gaze into my eyes a lot.
I know. He gets very excited
see,
when you talk
you
about
know what?
diamonds.
By the way, his eyes on either side of his head, man. That's why he gazed. He ain't even looking at you. He just gazing because his eyes are so far apart on his head.
You're gonna make him cry again.
Dude, that's horrible. I have never made him cry yet, and you've never made him cry. He's a lot tougher than you think he is.
He's
all right.
a big boy.
Whatever you
Yes,
say,
he
man.
is.
He got big boy pants on today.
We're raising him up to be a fine young man.
So basically, diamonds are a scam. They're a scam, 100%.
Lies.
No, they've been mining
Talk
them
to me,
and
Harry
mining
Winston.
and mining.
Tell me
See,
all about it.
Just because you bought the commercial doesn't mean it's right.
That's not a commercial. That's a Marilyn Monroe movie.
There are
Obviously,
two-
you didn't research diamonds very well.
If they released all the diamonds that they had in
Who's
stocked
they?
up, the De Beers family and all and the Russian.
Is this another
companies.
one of those? Welcome to Conspiracy Hour.
It is
with
not
Christopher
conspiracy
Titus.
hour. Actually, Fetus, do some research on this. It's a fake.
Okay, well, first of all,
It's
you
false.
can't just keep yelling out at Fetus to do research and never going back to him. So, Fetus, pull up ancient pornos. There you go. Let's wrap this up. Let's bring this
so
home.
Let's go. Not ancient pornos. Let's go back to during 1900.
1905.
Yo, porno was 1905.
Well,
man.
there's one up there at 1901 as well. But I thought this was interesting.
Wait, what's it say? What's the name of it?
The Birth of the Pearl. But you were right. It says hand cranked kinetoscopes.
Yo, man, they better use
I can't see it from here.
By the
Oh my
way,
gosh.
today porn is still used with a hand
Does
crank.
it say kinetoscope?
Did
Kinetoscope.
you? Hey, wow! You just made a very funny masturbation.
I do what I can, man. I do what I can.
They made hand cranked kinetoscopes, and then they realized for poor lower class immigrants, isn't it always, that sex sells? Because rich people don't buy sex. They don't care about that.
Oh my God! You're touching my genitals. I am
nasty.
trying to write a check right now.
Right. That's how I imagine it is.
If you're rich.
I mean, no, I'm the girl trying to touch his genitals. I'm not presumptuous.
Hello. I wish you would keep your hand out of my pants. Put it in my wallet where you like to have it.
BMW huffing, but reappears. Birth of the Pearl. That was the first one.
Basically, yeah, it's just Venus.
Here's how dirty it was. Are you ready?
How dirty was it?
Let me give you the description, the
Yo,
movie
does
description.
the pearl refer to a clitoris?
Yes. As the
What?
shell opened. No, she's actually in a shell. Ready?
Right.
Here's
She's like in a big clamshell.
Here's how great people's imaginations used to be.
be.
As the shell opened, a sleeping or slumbering long-haired young model wearing a flesh-colored body stocking was curled up, but then slowly awakened from slumber and stood up.
And that was the whole thing.
Yeah, that didn't get you? That didn't nothing? Anybody? No?
There's also before they invented pizza guys
What?
or pool guys.
Pool guys.
Yeah,
UPS
right.
men.
And what's the second one? There's another one. From showgirl to burlesque queen.
It took them 2 more years.
Right?
And they
to
put
work on a new
together
one.
70,000 more pictures. And in 1903, From Showgirl to Burlesque Queen, it's a
1
titillating short film, 1 minute in length, from American Mutoscope and Biograph. It was designed to stimulate its audience. There's a woman in her dressing room mischievously undressing and smiling at the camera, but after removing her
yeah.
clothing and standing
Yeah.
in a long white undergarment
What?
and slipping the strap of her garment off of one's shoulder, she would duck behind a screen to her right. And then you just see her arms come around for other pieces of clothing, and then she'd come out in a new costume.
That's some bullshit. That ain't porno.
1903.
Yeah, that ain't even Disney Channel. What
2
the hell
years
that?
later,
Like, right, that is pretty late,
Peeping
right?
Tom in the dressing room.
Oh wow! This is part 2 of the first one. They actually started doing sequels. They started doing sequels back in 1905.
2 years, but then after this one, it's 5-year differences.
Right.
But that one, Peeping Tom, a guy gets caught peeping through a keyhole while spying on a buxom female. He becomes humiliated because he's brought into the dressing room where chorus girls beat him with powder puffs.
Wow! So this one had shame and humiliation. That was the first freaky movie.
I like this one. Oh, dirty,
A
dirty.
little dirty. Hey, you got to go watch this. It's about a minute long. You got to crank though. So you got one hand free. But here's the deal: keep cranking that sucker, man. And what happens is she beats him with a powder puff at the end.
No, don't ruin it for him.
Oh, you really? Spoiler alert! Powder puffs at the end. 'Cause they didn't have spoiler alerts.
What?
That's crazy. They had weird. It's like not even porn now. So here's okay. Now there's now.
Oh my gosh!
French
well, we
was 1908.
jumped. Well, that's the French. That's because they're dirty. 3
Right.
years later, it took them 3 years. We skipped to something that bon auberge.
Yo, the Frenchmen, they got some
Oula
sexy time,
bon
man.
auberge.
The Frenchmen cool about a lot of things for a long time.
What?
This
French
one
have
was
never been cool about anything.
straightforward. They were like,
No,
"That's
man.
some bullshit."
Yeah, they
Now,
accepted
a
black
woman is
people.
pleasuring herself with a dildo, and then another man and woman join her for a threesome
Whoa,
involving
whoa.
lots of oral sex
Whoa.
before intercourse.
Whoa, what year this? So we went from someone taking off one shoulder of a bra strap to dildos and a threesome?
I'd like to draw
Damn.
your attention
I like that the French was like the Elon Musk of porn back in 1908.
to the picture
They
on the
were, they
right
were.
of the three people in the film.
Wow. I guess they didn't have weights back then when they didn't invent a treadmill. That's
It
crazy.
looks like Big Bird without the feathers. It's
Someone
like
looks like
got
she
the
got-
beak.
Someone looks like a two hams strapped to their hips. That's the weird looking butt right there.
It is amazing how pretty
Wow.
Big Bird is with feathers.
Yeah, without feathers. That's Big Bird without feathers. Yeah. All right, so we've just established the porn thing. Now back to diamonds. So
Wait, what was his next job though? Because you were yelling on another job, and I wanted him to.
I wanted him to find out about the De Beers family and diamonds. Like there is a stockpile of diamonds right now that if they unleash it, the market would tank.
Are
The
those
reason
in the
that-
Denver airport?
Okay, they are stored under the Denver airport with all the water that we're slowly being taken from California, which I drought my ass.
In Roswell, the Denver airport.
Yeah, man, she cool about this. This
Roswell.
conspiracy thing, man. You always a little deep on this, man. And the diamond thing, all they're trying to do is make money, just supply and demand. If they control the supply, they also control the demand. Then they got to ask how much money they want to ask.
What?
Axe? Okay.
What did he say?
He
I always tune out when he says axe.
he basically said that you get that if because they bought all the mines, so they bought all the mines basically that they could control. They could let's say they have, let's say they're saying diamonds are rare, but in the vault they've got
They've
40
created
years.
supply and demand.
There you go. And this is Christopher Titus' economics. He didn't understand it in the first time we went through it. So what's it saying?
I like these.
So there's been about 165,000 tons. No, that's gold.
Yeah, that's in history of gold.
Talk louder, fetus.
There have been 165,000 tons of gold mined in human history. That compares to 4.5 billion,
Hey,
tons of
so what-
carat diamonds annually.
He's terrible.
There's 4.5 billion 1 carat diamonds annually.
What?
Wow.
Say it again. I don't.
Sorry.
So we're getting reamed pretty much. By the way, guys, if you're going to buy a diamond, you're getting reamed. You know what they do, and all that they do manufactured
but-
diamonds too now.
Look, you guys
See,
are.
that's a woman right
you're
there.
on-
Yeah, but it's okay. Don't worry. You're not getting reamed. I'll have sex with you if you give me diamonds.
Yo, man, that's the truest thing you ever said on this damn podcast.
I will
Thank you.
not have sex with anyone that gives me diamonds. But I expect after I have sex with them for them to give me diamonds.
I'm glad you got
Better
it, Friday.
recognize. It's really sexist what you just said, and I'm bored with you, so we're just going to move past it. I
Okay.
think everyone collectively
Uh-huh.
can yawn and roll their eyes
Right.
at the
Well,
stupid little man.
every guy just went, "Amen, brother," and everyone went yawned and rolled their eyes. That's right.
Oh my gosh.
That is true.
You
I-
sad little man. You're just
You
a
tall woman. You are.
Sad
You can't
little
even.
man.
I wouldn't mind if you just. Look, men own it. we own
Okay,
it.
okay.
You
All
got
right,
diamonds.
B. All right, B. Let me ask you a question.
Be careful with that. There's certain words you could say.
Excuse me. I'm trying to talk.
I think the N word and axe is one of us.
That's what the dog trainer taught me to do to the
She-
dogs,
she
and it
talking to
just
you.
worked.
Oh, you calling me a dog now?
It works.
Don't do it anymore.
It's amazing.
don't do it. Go ahead.
How many? I mean, like, how often have I asked for diamonds? Do I ever ask
Do you ask for
for
diamonds?
jewelry?
3 times.
Oh my gosh, no.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're counting an engagement ring and a wedding band? Is that two different?
Did earrings that you got?
Yeah, but I didn't ask for those. That was a surprise.
No. Oh, that was not a surprise. Oh, really? You know what? I love how women get to this place where they're just like, I never asked for it. You just got it for me. Oh, no.
I didn't ask for those.
For the last,
You went and picked them out and surprised me.
Quote, you for months you said, I need some diamond earrings. I'd like them to be about this big. I need some diamond earrings.
No, I
When
didn't.
my ears look at
oh my
you,
gosh,
are a
he
liar.
you're
I said-
imagining.
I
Do you
said-
smell almonds?
No, man. I sat in a room when we talked about diamond ears before he bought those. I went with him and got them.
No, you didn't.
I did too. We looked at 2 different places. Yeah, we did.
No,
Yeah,
you
we
didn't.
did. And you sitting there saying that he didn't. You would just hint about it all the time.
You
Yeah, I
lost
think,
your mind.
if someone smells almonds, it's you.
Okay, let me just say, in 9 years, how often, honestly, do I ask for jewelry?
Yeah, but it's like,
It's not my thing, really.
I will
I'm
say
not
this.
really.
if they would release all the diamonds, they have the glut of diamonds, and they came down in price. You could ask for diamonds all the time, but they're expensive.
I don't really like jewelry's not really my thing. Like, I mean, I think it's pretty and I think people enjoy it and stuff, but it's not something that I really feel like I have to have. I don't wear a lot of jewelry.
You're not Kardashian level.
Oh my gosh.
No, you're not. I got that. You're not. You're not like that. You got to be all jeweled up. I got it.
I don't like that. I think it's like a lot of bling it's like, you know what I mean? I hate guys that wear a lot of bling too. I hate that. Like men that wear all those rings and stuff. They usually have chest hair.
You're welcome. I don't do that.
Thank you. Except if we were, never mind.
Well, here's the thing, man. Some well-placed bling is good, but you can overdo it. Now, the brothers, man, we wear a lot. We like it. But you gotta pick and choose, man. You can't just overdo it. Every once in a while, I see some fool on the street, and it could be white or black. Sometimes people are just foolish, and they wear stuff they used to go, damn, dude, you don't have to wear all your shit today.
Some people are really consumed with it. A lot of women are very consumed with jewelry and stuff. I just, like, to me, I always more worry I'm going to lose it.
Right.
How do you wear something that costs that much, like, on your ears?
Or your finger when you put it down and washing your hand or something, and yeah, I get it. But I will say this, back to the heist. So these guys, England is the perfect place to do a crime like this. Because in America, all the cops have guns. In England, even if the cops break in and catch these guys, they're just going to get arrested. They're not going to get shot. So I'm shocked that they got away with it. But it does seem like a movie. It's almost like I think I saw this movie. Wasn't there a movie where they broke in on some long weekend and spent all week in the vault and blah blah blah? Wasn't there a movie like that?
I don't know.
I'm sure there was.
I don't watch movies. I'm busy being a girl. Just vapid and empty. Just
looking
desperately
at
wanting to touch some man's ball sack for a diamond ring. It's hard to think of anything else when I'm just being a girl.
Yo, man, I gotta tell you, I hear sarcasm. She ain't meaning like you. She ain't saying
just
that.
Just a silly little girl. All of us talk like this, and we're just really stupid. It's like it's really hard to even talk because of the way that I have to lisp when I talk. Stupid.
I like it. That's okay. Good. Finally, I'm glad you're finally on my boat. Good for you. Good. It's good that you own it.
Is your boat made of diamonds? Because otherwise, I don't really care.
No, it's mostly you have a boat. I like men with boats.
How big is your boat?
Yo, I don't think that's a metaphor, man. She actually want to know how big your boat is.
If you're not calling it a yacht, I'm not interested. Because I'm just a silly little girl.
So these criminals that broke in and stole this, they stole.
I like that you just get uncomfortable.
I'm not even uncomfortable. You're talking about who's bored with who now. It's like blah blah blah.
Why is it that all comics that do female voices have to give us lists? What is that?
I would say the best comic that does female voices at all is Maria Bamford. It's crazy the voices she comes up with.
But she's a woman.
I know.
I mean men that do female voices. The only one that does a funny is Kevin Hart.
Yeah. Oh my god. But he admits that it's him.
I love that.
So these guys are going to get away with it. And they said that diamonds are hard to trace. So basically these guys, it's almost like the perfect crime. They said within 2 or 3 weeks, these diamonds will be on the street and they can't do anything about it. They said they're probably already out of the country anyway. It's such a great, great crime. But you think with all the cameras and everything we have in this world that it feels like an inside job. Because England and Europe have more cameras than we have.
They opened 70 safety deposit boxes drilled through them.
But there's hundreds and hundreds of them. How did they know which safety deposit boxes?
Well, how do you know that they specifically selected the right ones? Like maybe they just hit as many as they could and got out. Seems like if they were planning this really well, they would have, especially if it were like Ocean's 11, they had it perfectly timed, watches synchronized. We have this long, get what you can get. But a lot of jewelers kept their back stock there.
So they knew that pretty much just a crapshoot they were probably going to hit. If they opened up 50, they were going to hit 20 with jewelry in them.
Right. It seems like your odds, especially it's right in downtown London, right in the center of the city. It's a big bank. It's where if you were casing it, you would see all these jewelry brokers or whatever going there to make deposits and stuff, right?
You almost said jewelry professionals. I saw.
I don't know what to call them.
She almost said
jewelers. I guess they're jewelers.
You get jewelers, and they put the Jew in jewelers, most of them. That's how it works. So they broke in. So they took all of the jewels. Thank God we were insured. They said the problem is a lot of people weren't insured. because
Right.
to save on insurance, they kept him in this
Right.
one of this baddest ass bank that would never be broken into. And there you go. That's
what they used
So I
as
will
their
say this.
insurance.
I thought I had a bad week this week. And I was thinking, my life's not going the way I want it to go. I had a disappointment in a couple of things. Had an argument with someone today who I really care about. I've had a weird week and a bad day. And then I read this story, and I thought there was some dude that had like $50 million worth of diamonds, and it just got yanked. And I got to say that I don't feel so bad anymore. Sorry about the diamonds, but should have insured him, idiot.
You
Yo, that's kind of harsh, man. Just because you
you're
said you
really in general sort of just
Yeah,
not
kinda,
pleasant today.
You're kind of
He's
bitchy and
kinda-
creepy
he's-
today.
yeah,
What's happening to you, man?
he's a little bit.
Usually up, man.
I was trying to do a good podcast, trying not to go. There's another shooting. Tsarnaev is going down. Basically, he got convicted on all counts.
Did you see that?
I
The
read
verdict
it.
came in. I didn't see it.
All 30. He had 30 or 30 something different
That
charges.
was going to happen.
And now they're going to
there's
decide
no
whether
way.
they're going to kill him or not. Do you think there's going to be any chance they'd let him live?
Has he ever said anything?
Nope. But do you think there's any chance that he's going to live? Do you think they're going to let him go? They're going to keep him in prison for 50 years? I don't think so. I think he blew up. He actually set the bag down behind a family. Like, he knew exactly what he was doing. I wish we would just stop. And I know people are going to get mad at me. I get all the time. Oh, you're so liberal, you're so progressive. Honestly, if we have video of you planting a bomb behind a family and it goes off, I don't think there should be a trial. I think that here's the trial. You put in front of the jury, you sit the jury down, you show them the video, and they go, "Is that him?" They go, "Yeah, that's him." Okay, and then he goes in another room. That's what happens. So yeah, bye bye. It saves so much time and money.
They have the death penalty.
Yeah, they're deciding whether they're gonna death penalty. I hope they do it. There's no point. We just got to do it. It's weird to me. Although I think like ISIS, they found out that pit full of bodies, 1,700 bodies, like Iraqis, with their heads chopped off. I don't like the brutality of human beings, but because those guys were just fighting for their country. But when you got a guy that just blatantly killed a bunch of innocent people at a marathon, I got no. There's just a soulless. Bye. Sorry, I'm not living at all. Take him out. I'll do it. Just give me a gun. I got it.
What about the North Charleston shooting?
Which one was that one?
That we just. It's like I know that it doesn't justify, but
the
you and I
Charleston.
will sit around and try and justify certain things.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like how senseless, like the pilot that we talked about last week.
Yeah, who just crashed.
It's like we human beings, it's more difficult for us to grasp what we call senseless.
Right.
And it's like you said, okay, well, war, you kind of get that, like whatever, but
Right.
like just random senseless acts where all these innocent people get killed, like the bombing and stuff like that. But what about this cop in Charleston? Did you see that
saw the
video?
I got to say, the video, which we talked about, I had an argument with somebody recently about racism, why black people are mad. And then this cop, I don't know if you guys seen the Charleston shooting. Google it. Go on YouTube.
It's crazy.
And why are you being so quiet?
Because I'm always interested when you start talking about white and black. I always like to hear where you're going with this. I'll jump in when I need to. You got it.
All right. So the Charleston shooting guy, basically, I guess whatever was going on, the guy took off running from the cop, running away. He's running full speed away. And the cop pulled his gun and shot the man 8 times. And he's 50 feet away from him at this point when he shot him. Then he actually picks a taser up because he told everybody he tried to take my taser, except the taser was where the cop started. He takes it, and what the cop didn't know is someone was videotaping him. Cop takes the taser, walks it all the way over to the body, drops it by the body, and then goes, "Oh, here's my taser. Found my taser." And here's the good news. And here's the good news for you because I know you haven't seen this yet. They charged the cop with murder instantly.
Well, there you go. That's at least a beginning, Like if someone does commit murder on video, you should at least charge them with that. There you go. Try whatever, but yeah.
Well, probably, unfortunately, if we didn't have a video that looks like it was taken from about 5 feet away, where you see the cop drop the taser next to the body,
Right.
intentionally goes and picks it up. I mean, if we didn't have that video, we would have people marching in the streets crying racism, and we would have white people marching back in the streets saying it's not racism, and you just would never know. We just so happen to have this video where you see this guy do this, and it's pretty brutal if you watch it.
What did you think when you saw it, really? What did you when you watched it? Because, being from, the South, what did you think when you saw it?
What does that mean, Bean?
I think California has a different thing, man. The world is different. East Coast, West Coast racism is entirely different. You know, where Fetus was raised up and Adirondacks, it's different. It's different. Down in the South, I think it's much more entrenched and ingrained in the South. I have been down there, spent some time down there. It's much more entrenched.
It's actually just targeted towards different groups of people out here. I think racism is racism, period.
Right.
I think that it's more commonly accepted against different groups in different areas.
So California, what do you think? It's a Hispanic thing?
I think I have heard people since I moved out here, because where I moved from, there wasn't a very large Latino population.
Mm-hmm.
It was more predominantly African American where I lived, actually more so than Caucasian. I think it was like 62 or 70, something like that.
I like how she used the word Caucasian. She didn't say white, she said Caucasian. I like when you get like technical, because it makes it sound better that you guys are talking, the whitest people I know talking about racism.
I was actually standing up against him saying racism is different and different. I was trying to help you out.
It seems okay. California. I grew up.
You hear people out here talk about Latino people.
I don't, man. I disagree. I think it's harsher. It's much harsher in the South. When I'm down in the South, man, it is harsher. No, it's hard. There's that stare you get from people. You can tell there's black people don't really like white people, and white people don't really like black people. You can tell it in a lot of cases. Not all the time, but in a lot of cases, it seems like it.
I got nothing to say here.
I know. I think we should just move on. He's grumpy.
No, I think he's correct. I don't want to say nothing bad about him, because I think, yeah. But I would say to you, man, that's everywhere. I don't know what you think is different in California if why the rain mows up our ass here, because they ain't. It's across the country, man. It's across the country, and these shootings continue to keep showing it. So, and this one was brutal. I'm glad they got this dude up for murder. It's great. The problem is they good cops out there, too. These cops ain't bad. And the weird thing is, one of the cops that knew about it, dude, was a black dude.
I saw that, too. Wait. So it was a really bad shoot, and they got busted.
They actually fired him immediately, which was nice, instead of putting him on
paid
leave.
That'll go on your work record. Murderer. Yeah, you. Wait. So have you ever been had a murder charge against you? Yeah. When? On my last job. You're fired. You're out. Sorry. All right, guys. Let's move on to the news. You want to move to the news?
Do you want to talk about where we're going to be this weekend?
I would like to talk where we're going to be. We're going to Montana. We're doing the Montana tour.
Where?
Montana.
I don't know where that is.
We're going to Bozeman.
No, first we're doing Billings.
And
what night is that?
That's Thursday night. What's the date?
Thursday the night.
Thursday the night we're going to do the Billings, and then Friday we're doing the Bozeman.
And then?
Saturday we're doing the, what the hell are we doing there? Missoula. Yeah, going to Missoula, Montana. I'm bringing my bow and arrow because I'm going to shoot some ducks.
There actually is in Missoula on Saturday. We're doing the Wilma on Saturday.
Please don't tell them. You're going to bring the bacon festival up again?
Yeah, it's a bacon and beer festival that we've been invited to. Super excited.
I gotta say, so I'm doing the radio show with these guys, and I call them to promote the gig, core the gig, as I say. And at the end of the interview with these radio guys, they're like, "Hey, you coming to the bacon and beer festival?" And I said, "Is there going to be an ambulance and a defibrillator?" And they said, "Yeah." I said, "Fine." I go, "You can get a Snickers wrapped in bacon." I don't know what the festival's about.
Well, first of all, the African American people in the world got heart problems, so I probably won't be going.
Come on, man. You meet a girl at the Bacon and Beer Festival. You know you would.
Yeah, I met a girl anywhere. I met a girl at 7-Eleven. Don't matter. I don't need to go to Bacon and Beer.
I do imagine that
Right.
There's going to be some healthy people walking around there. Healthy.
So you just want to get some good pictures?
On the 11th.
And by the way, that's the Saturday, right?
That's the Saturday. So
that's what's tearing up our ticket sales over there.
It's not that it's Montana.
It's the Bacon and Beer Festival.
And you just put out a video called Arm the Children.
Yeah.
And spoke out against guns.
I didn't. I spoke about idiots with guns. I actually posted a tweet today where there's two guys in a Chipotle with full-on automatic rifles. And one guy's about 400 pounds. The other guy is about... It was literally... It was Lenny. It was a mice and men in Chipotle with guns. That's what it was.
What?
Yeah.
When?
I want to shoot the rabbits, George. I want to shoot the rabbits.
Is that where we're going?
Yeah, was that a Chipotle in Montana that happened?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
I don't think so. I hope not. God.
Well, how did that tie in with the Montana tour story?
Because you said Montana. And we went from bacon and beer to fat people to weapons. I'm sorry.
Oh, you were word associating.
It's all thin threads, man. It all works out.
I'm so confused.
All right, guys. And now we're going to move on. You got some good stories today?
I don't know. I don't know how good they are. But give me an intro.
You want to do it? You want to do it?
Sure, I'll do it. Yo, from sea to shining sea, from shore to shining shore, from continent to continent, and sometimes space. It's Bombshell Rae with the bombshell nose.
That was kind of cool. I like the way he did. There you go.
There is a Chinese lumberjack.
Stop there. Stop right there. There is not such thing as a Chinese lumberjack.
Yes.
No. I disagree. I want to see a picture of a Chinese lumberjack. Fetus, pull up the Chinese lumberjack.
Okay, pull it up. His name is Meng Zhaguo.
Instead of a blue ox, he has a Shih Tzu.
I don't know. Look him up. It's a Chinese lumberjack.
Okay, so keep going.
So he actually is a lumberjack who also happens to be Chinese. And
that would right. That's in the title. That's actually in the title of Chinese lumberjack.
Look up. There he is. See?
Yo, I don't believe Chinese people could be lumberjacks.
He lives on the Red Flag logging commune, and it's in China's far northeast. It's also known as Manchuria.
Right.
And he claims to not only have been visited by an alien, but to have had sex with an alien.
Was he probed? They like to probe a lot. They really like to probe.
I don't know, but he's out there all by himself, alone, and so I don't know.
Wait, he's a lumberjack on his own? Listen, just because you live in the woods by yourself.
He's a lumberjack and he's okay.
He a lumberjack. He a lumberjack and he okay. He work all day and he sleep all night.
No, that was wrong. He sleep all
Yo, man, you guys are so racist. It's crazy to watch. See an Asian dude,
I
man.
wear high heel, pantyhose, suspenderlos,
And a blah. I rock to wear Rima and a accordion, just like my dealer, mama.
Papa.
Oh, he's a papa, right?
If you don't like,
he's a lumberjack.
Okay. If you don't like Monty Python, then you
Wow,
have no idea.
that was the worst Monty Python Asian version of that song we could have done, and I apologize to everybody.
What?
Yo, just because you wanted to apologize don't mean it's cool.
So just because you live in the woods by yourself doesn't make you a lumberjack. You actually have to do stuff with lumber.
I think he lives on the logging commune. Doesn't that qualify him?
I think he said he lives out there on his own. He's out there by himself.
It's a logging commune. If you're dedicated enough to move to a logging commune by yourself, how is it a commune though?
So what do you say? So basically he says
he's straight with an alien.
Now, he slept with it or was raped up? By the way, it doesn't make it better. If you were anal probed by an alien, you can't just say, no, it was consensual.
I like that every time you argue with me, Fetus, who has this story pulled up on the big screen, uses the little pointer, the little mouse pointer, and he just keeps underlining claims to have slept with an alien. He just keeps point.
We can't believe it, though.
Point.
So what happened? How did he sleep with the alien? Go ahead and read. Tell me what happened. Don't read to him. Read yours.
Well, he's got it in big letters up on the big screen. We're kind of high tech up here.
So he's only got 2 channels. He's only got 2 channels of TV. It's a waste of money. So how does it say he got? He got raped?
Saw metal.
So he thought a
helicopter crashed.
Right. Yo, and then he said he set up to scavenge for
something
scrap.
hit him in the forehead.
Wait, look at what he said. This is a motherfucker. So I thought the helicopter crashed, so I set up to scavenge for scrap. He didn't say, man, I want to go save some people who died in a helicopter crash. He said,
no.
oh, well, I'm going to go get some metal because that shit went down.
Sclap. He wants sclap.
Pretty bad.
And then
he wants a sclap or leakage from the leakage.
He what happen. So he goes outside to scavenge these poor dead people, and something hit him in the head. He got knocked out. He wakes at home. No memory of how he got home. A few nights later, he finds himself floating above his bed. His wife slumbered beneath him, and a 10-foot-tall, 6-fingered alien woman with thighs coated in braided hair.
Hold on.
Straddled his waist. Wait.
10-foot-tall, 6-fingered?
Ming and the alien copulated for 40 minutes.
No, they didn't. I like that. I like that in stories. Even he's a badass in bed, even with an alien. And the braided hairy leg thing is weird.
we could actually just do this story for the whole, because it just it's like it just unfolds.
So he said that you recognize the alien.
Wait, she disappeared after 40 minutes of copulating. He floats back down to bed, and she left me with this. He undoes his trousers for the news reporter and reveals a 2-inch long jagged mark that he says bears resemblance to a scar resulting from a slip stroke of a saw. Sorry. He has a scar on his leg. He shows it to the reporter.
Right.
The reporter happens to note in the story that it also bears a resemblance to a saw slipping on his leg when he's chopping wood.
Mm.
Actually, that would be an axe when he's sawing wood.
Because he's a lumberjack.
Because you saw when you.
So here's the thing. So the reporter is pretty funny. The reporter says, I realized Meng was sketching a hairy cousin of the Michelin Man. Basically, he drew a picture of the alien, and it's just a hairy cousin of the Michelin Man. And I could not have sex with the hairy Michelin Man for 40 minutes. I just couldn't copulate with the Michelin Man. First of all, just the squeaking from the rubber. Squeaker, 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 bishop.
What the hell are you talking about, man? All right, this story is stupid, man. This story is so stupid. We've done some stupid shit, but this is some dude out in the woods trying to get some attention. That's what it is. He lived out in the woods so long. Like,
you think?
Yeah, I think so, man. I think that's it. So let's move on. Next story.
Everyone else that has stories of sleeping with aliens is totally normal.
Oh my God, this is crazy.
That's because he's Asian, right? You've knocked Latinos today. Asian people and women. Keep them coming. Spark plug.
So he's thinking, he says, in 60 years on a distant planet, the son of a Chinese peasant will be born.
Tiny little baby.
So,
a little Asian peanut.
You know what? There's a song. We were talking about how things are crazy. There's a great song off the new U2 album, the one they gave away for free, that people bitched about. How do you bitch about getting a new U2 album for free? What the fuck is on my iPod? Hey, so you need to. So anyway,
people bitch about everything.
There's a song called "Raised by Wolves," and it seemed like with ISIS and these guys killing school shootings, we're raised by wolves, man. We've given up our humanity in so many ways in this world. You know, not just as a country, but in this world, man. It just seems like humanity is really at a weird place.
Well, you know what? I will tell this minor little story. I did an experiment last week. On the way to the doctor last week, decided to unload to Bombshell about many things. I have a tendency to keep things in, and I just let it all out.
Right, you keep it in until it build like a cancer inside you, and then it spews out one day. You start crying real hard.
I wasn't crying. I was just bitching. I was bitching about everything. And so we get to the doctor, and she's obviously going through, the hardest time of her life ever. And I realized that I was complaining to someone who is suffering right now greatly, like I said, fighting for her life. And I realized what an asshole I was. And I asked her, I said, would you like to complain now? Because I was hoping she would complain and then we could be even. And no.
You dig a hole and stand in it.
And she knew it. Yeah. And so she turned to me and she said no, because she knows she's better than I am.
Light just coming off her head.
Yeah. And
I'm better than you.
She said, actually, and I'm not going to go into any details, but she is fighting for her life right now. And it's pretty awful. And she turns to me and she says, there are a lot of people who have it way worse than I do, and I'm not going to complain. And I thought,
some Chinese guy who was just raped by a 6-foot alien, way worse than us.
He lives all by himself.
Yeah, but I get when your brain just start making shit up at one point.
So check it out. So here's what I did. I said for the next 48 hours, for 2 days, I'm not going to complain at all about anything. Not even like benign complaints like, oh, it's hot in here, or I'm cold, or anything. I'm tired.
You just decided I am not going to complain at all.
At all.
You basically became like,
and I told the people
like
around
Tony Robbins, me, except with boobs.
He has boobs. I told the people around me to call me on it in case I did, which made me accountable. I told you, and I told Mom and whatever. And it's amazing how many times you will find, if you try this, that you want to complain. You will realize that you build your whole being filled with complaining, and that creates this kind of like negative way of being that you walk around in the world. Like even traffic, you can't complain. You have to just, if you want to complain, find a way to find something positive in it. And it was crazy. So I told my trainer about this, and my trainer told me 2 days later, she goes, I want you to know you inspired me, and I did that too. She said, do you know, I woke up this morning and I was happy. She's like, I never wake up happy. I woke up and I'm happy. And it's because without even meaning to, it creates this positive space in your life. It was pretty crazy. And I told you, I was like, I really want to stop this, but how do you say, I'm no longer doing the non-complaining thing? Like, you can't cancel it.
I'm not. I'm gonna take it on for 1 week. Actually, I'm gonna give myself a shot so I don't get crazy. I'm gonna go all the way to Monday morning. I am not gonna complain, and we have to go on tour. We're gonna go to Bozeman, Billings,
Montana.
Yeah, and Missoula. We're gonna go there, and I'm not gonna complain from this moment forward. I'm not gonna complain, and we'll see what it does. Because I've had some things that I think that are valid to complain about this week, and I'm gonna let it go.
We're doing Billings Babcock Theater on the 9th. We're doing Bozeman Ellen Theater on the 10th. Missoula Wilma Theater on the 11th. But yeah,
Do I have to go to this tour, man? I do not want to go on this tour. This is Montana, man. Ain't gonna be nobody.
I would sure like it.
There's definitely gonna be no colored people up there.
You can't say colored people.
Yeah, she's right. You can't. That's why did I get?
Unless
offended?
you're talking about the NAACP, which they really need to update their
you can
acronym.
Say whatever you want to say.
True that.
Just wanted to tell you this because I know you're going to be.
Yeah, but you're right. You can't say true that.
I know you're going to be so sad.
What?
Comcast is discontinued its Rob Lowe commercials because of complaints
About what?
by the Better Business Bureau. People complained that the company couldn't actually substantiate the claims that he makes in the commercial about the signal reliability. And it was the cable people, really, I think, that you want to talk about a conspiracy. They are the ones complaining because in the commercial, he says that it's better picture sound quality than cable.
Yeah.
More sports programming than cable. So anyway, people complained, probably the cable company, to the Better Business Bureau.
One of the best ad campaigns in
Better
the last
Business Bureau
20
said,
years.
well, you technically are not substantiating that. You can't actually show me the signals, whatever. And so they have to discontinue.
No.
I know that you love those.
They're really funny.
Yeah.
You got to love Rob Lowe. Ever since he did Wayne's World, he was Mr. Young Hot Dude, and then he did Wayne's World. And he talk about a guy who's worked his career really well. Even the movies he's done, he's taken on some goofy roles where he was a douche, and he's really good. We got to see him once at the. Didn't get to talk to him though. We were backstage at the Springsteen thing. Got to see him.
We did talk to him.
Did I talk to him?
Yeah, he was super nice.
Yeah.
And he was on...
No, I think you talked to him because he's Rob Lowe.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, man, she work it too, man. You guys give me trouble all the
I was
time.
like, hi, see, I
give me
know
trouble.
you make a lot of
damn,
money.
Here she make it.
So I was hoping you could buy me some diamonds.
You like diamonds.
Squeak.
You can't admit that you don't
squeak.
like diamonds. Oh, shut up.
I like them. I think they're pretty.
Next story. There you go.
They're pretty, right?
Yeah. And see
But
the
I'm
voice
not
changed a little
like-
bit. I think they're pretty, right?
I think they're so pretty.
Come on. Next, let's go. We have another story to do.
You're not the boss of me.
I am the boss of you right here.
Yo, I'm the boss of you.
What?
We ain't the
you
boss of
is.
you.
A New York woman has gotten 20 years to life for killing her son with salt.
What?
Yeah.
How do you kill someone with salt? Just too much salt?
She was actually a motherhood blogger. I feel like maybe she's not the one that should have killed her kid. 20 years to life. She gave her son a salt overdose so she could get social media attention about his mysterious illness. She's 27 years old. Her son was 5. She started blogging and calling it Garrett's Journey, talking about his illness and things like that. And the judge actually in sentencing said, I like this judge, by not imposing the maximum, I'm exhibiting something you didn't show your son, mercy.
Wow.
Yep.
So she just gave him salt, and he got sicker and sicker and sicker, so the sodium levels in his blood got
She
up.
put it into his feeding tube. Eventually, his final thing was she kept giving him salt, too much salt, just putting it in his food, putting it in his water, putting it in everything. He's
So
sick.
she could
Finally,
blog.
in his feeding tube, she injected it.
So her blog was being
Killed him.
read by more
Yep.
people.
Yep. She got a lot of attention.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to say about society. This is why I think an extinction level event needs to happen. We have got to a place where these kind of things seem to be more prevalent, where people are doing horrible, horrible things. ISIS, the Aurora shooting, Newtown, and I don't know if it's just the reporting's better, if it's always been horrible like this, But man, we need a humanity wake-up call. We need a comet to hit this motherfucker and take out about 6 billion of us, or more than that. Let's go 6.5. And the survivors should look around and go, wow, maybe we should try to build it better next time. How the hell are you so narcissistic that you keep pumping salt into your son and kill your own flesh and blood? Even kill anybody, but my God.
Hey, man.
Narcissistic.
Hey, man. She suffered
bitch.
in her court papers.
No,
it says
please. Oh, please. It's about her. Was it about her?
she had
Did
Crohn's disease and celiac disease and
she
ear
farted weird. Okay,
and
good.
ear abnormalities. So
That was why.
yes, it's
So
in
she
the
was
court
insane.
documents.
She had PTSD from the Crohn's disease. My farts are horrible. My stomach is distended mildly.
And celiac. She's definitely farting if she's got Crohn's and celiac.
My God.
A lot of farting.
So maybe it was a suicide. Maybe the kid just said, "Keep injecting salt, Mom. I cannot deal with the smell
This
in
is
this
terrible.
room." My God.
They called it Munchausen's by proxy. But I did happen to look where because she got sentenced in New York.
I don't get
She
this at
had
all.
moved from Florida by way of Alabama. So
Wow, man, that'll mess with your psyche,
Right?
man. You're a damaged person if you went from you said Florida. This ain't working for me. I'm going to Alabama, and then she ended up where?
she started in Alabama, went to Florida, and then ended up in New York.
End up New York. Yeah, New York.
I don't understand, man. You know, and by the way, and I don't think this is it's a cultural thing. It seems like we're all because then you got people at the top like Wall Street like that. They're just as evil. They just as evil. I think he's right. We need an extinction level event.
I am so in with him.
A professor is now under investigation for accidentally sending all of her students a link to a Pornhub video entitled "She Loves Her Anal Beads?" ? I like that they put a question mark at the end of it so that you'll watch it because you don't know.
Yeah, you don't know.
You don't know.
Where
Like,
is
she
this
might.
going?
Does she
Where
or does
is this
she
going?
not?
Right.
It
Don't
could go
tell
either way.
me.
Right,
Don't
sorry.
tell me.
Spoiler alert.
What happens?
She beats him with a powder puff.
Old school. They went old school with that one.
But it was actually an accident. The professor sent a mass email to her students and said, I thought this article on brief writing would be interesting for all of you. She was supposed to be a link on better paper writing.
But
and
what happened?
legal briefs. It's a law professor, and it was
So she just happened.
accidente.
So that was that PDF was right next to her link for the porn anal beads thing that she was watching, and she accidentally sent it. How do you get out of that one after you've sent everybody the mass email with the anal bead movie? How do you retract that? How do you go, hey guys, that wasn't me. Someone way scummier broke into my email. How do you what do you like every time you're walking down the hall, people just give you that sideways glance? Huh? Question mark. They just go question mark.
I've seen that movie repeatedly.
No.
I know how it ends. I'm not gonna tell
Well,
you.
why would you watch it repeatedly if you already know how it ends?
You know, sometimes it's because it's really the porn equivalent to 6 cents. Actually, let me just tell you right there. That's why there's a question mark.
I don't even know what the hell. Again, I don't know what he's talking about.
I see anal beads.
Yeah, and if you watch it, you'll see that the whole time the anal beads.
You got to go back and rewatch
They never
it.
really touch.
Right.
It's the second and third time through. You're like, oh, that's those anal beads were ghosts.
Yep.
They were ghost anal beads
The whole time.
Yeah.
All up in there. In her basement.
You're killing me, you two.
They were living in her basement. Speaking of porn, a Russian striker, soccer player,
Right?
has been offered a 16-hour sex session with a leading porn star if he can score 5 more goals this season.
The whole season he's got it?
Her name is Alina Hennessy. She has offered publicly this Moscow player a steamy sex marathon if he says to score 5 more goals.
I'll tell you-
16 hour.
I love that the porn star is so narcissistic that she basically it's a tunnel that was built in the early 1800s that had trains run through it for a couple centuries, and she thinks that that's going to turn the dude on. You know,
What's he talking about?
I'm just saying that do you really? Okay, let me ask you something. Hey, fetus, listen up. Porn star offers you a 16-hour sex session. Aren't you?
This is the wrong person.
I a 23-year-old, yeah.
He's very
His
eager.
eyes even more lizard-like than I see him usually.
16 hours.
That's mean. Shut up.
I'm skeptical.
Yeah.
What are you skeptical about?
If his testicles are going to stick to his body after this 16
He's so skeptical.
So what's the catch?
Yeah, you have to score 5 goals,
And 16 hours.
and you have to go for 16 hours.
If I'm a professional soccer athlete,
You could at least get 6 hours, right? That's not the point. That's not my
He's
point.
talking about the
My-
goals. I think he was going to go with the goals, not the
my-
hours, right?
My
no,
point.
no. If you're a professional athlete, you should be able to go 16 hours, right?
My point is, I'm not. You guys are missing my point. I've never
What is
seen-
his
you
point?
guys are- my point is that is that an incentive to some disease-ridden had every penis in her for like her profession is to have penises in her, and that's who you want to have sex with again?
Or anal beads.
Yeah, right. She's probably got anal beads on a chain. She's got like a whole loop of them. Like they have that. You know, they have like at the hardware store at Home Depot. They get that that roll of chain that you have to cut chunks off of. She's got like a 400-yard anal bead thing, and that's who you want to have sex with. I don't think so.
I actually would prefer a 10-foot tall alien with 6 fingers.
6 fingers. That's a shocker. you have all your orifices dealt with.
It's really a shocker. I get it. It's a shocker.
Yo, man, you gotta stop, man. Sometimes you lame it up a little bit. She just made fun of you again, man. She made fun of you repeatedly today.
I know. I'm used to it.
I don't get it.
I'm used to it. So I would not have. I don't think. I would not score. I would not take her up on that. I'd score the goals, but I would not take her up on that. Because, by the way, if you're scoring that many goals and you're winning for your team, there's some actually decent women that would have sex with you.
There's a news story out, and it's actually they used big letters and everything.
And as a man, 16 hours, it's a little. I'm like, I'm a little intimidated by that. No, thanks.
You're gonna need a sandwich.
Yeah, at least. You know,
Some snuggles.
43 minutes, maybe, and
A
then
nap.
I'm sleep.
Can that be 15 hours and 17 minutes of sleep?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry, 15 hours and 12 minutes of sleep, 5 minutes of sandwich.
I would like a sandwich and some popcorn.
Oh, you don't get popcorn. That would take way too long to eat.
You know what's good, man? You have to get the sushi, man. That's good, man. Sex and sushi.
Ew.
Yeah.
No.
I went to that restaurant once before. It's not good. Vegas. Sex and sushi. Oof.
Ugh.
Eh.
I don't understand why. Anyway, big letters, news story.
Yep.
Twisted Sister is calling it quits, and they want the world to know.
The band Twisted Sister is finally calling that quits.
Yeah,
They wait till 2015.
Didn't Gravity already make that decision for them, or
Dee Snider, I guess, is
Time.
not a bad guy. But I like that they took this long to retire because I think the public retired them.
And-
Which, by the way, I'm going to get retired. One day the public, by the way, I'm going to do comedy till I die. The problem is one day the public will retire me. They'll go, yeah, you're out. And I'll be like, I'm still in. And then I'll have to announce 10 years after I've been out for 20 that.
you have to go look at the picture of them all
Yeah.
now.
did
I
it
think
not-
one of them is missing a leg.
Go ahead, bring it up.
It's just
That was
not
because Def Leppard. That guy didn't mean to but Def Leppard
It's
got so
not the
popular after the
cover
one-armed drummer that they
photo
actually got
you
his
want.
leg cut off.
what did they say?
Fetus, pull up the Twisted Sister picture.
Oh my gosh, he's gone to sleep. And
I
you
know.
spelled the word wrong on the screen before that. Oh, you were? Oh, I
Assaulted,
get it.
yeah, the
he
kid was
said,
assaulted.
"Oh, he's writing jokes on the
He's writing jokes,
screen."
right. He's like pitching stuff.
The mother assaulted her son.
assaulted, and he spelled it salted.
I'm gonna vomit. I don't like that he did that. I think it's not funny, and I believe that he should stop.
That's
doing
not a new photo.
Fetus, you gonna
That's
stop
an
doing
old
it.
photo. Look up Twisted Sister 2016.
Wow.
Who are they?
Are they doing a tour?
Of course.
Twisted
We're done. We're through. We're quitting. But we're gonna do one more tour now that we have your attention.
We're not gonna take it. No, we're not gonna take it. We're not gonna
you sure?
take it. I think that's Twisted Sister. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. You know, I will say this. I'm going to look back at my last tour picture and just go, wow, why was my hair still spiky when I didn't have any? I know I'm going to make mistakes. I'm a grown man. I'm an old man. Why am my shirt untucked still?
You're gonna
I look
have
like a douchebag.
little feather wispies.
Why
of
am I
hair.
wearing a plaid shirt
Like
like,
a
I'm some hipster
dandelion.
douche and I'm
Just
93? You know, it's where we all look. I get that we all want to hold on to who we were. There's a time in your life that you will look back on as the best time of your life. That's a shame. You should always look at the time you're in as the best time. You know why? Because you're alive now. The past time is imaginary now.
You were right. We're not gonna take it. They also did I Wanna Rock.
I want to rock. That's how it went.
That was a little before my time.
Yes, it was, definitely.
But I'm happy that they all still have the energy.
Sad. You sound like you're in a home talking to some people. I'm glad that you guys have all made it to yogurt day. This is yogurt. We used to have pudding day, but the sugar content was too high, so we made it yogurt day. I'm glad you all made it out here. I'm glad you have the energy to make it to yogurt day. Okay. So
yeah,
sad.
I'm glad for them. I'm really happy.
Yo, man, these are them hairband freaks, man. See, I saw these dudes. I never saw them live, but I remember when the video came out, and I was like, it's almost like when you wear makeup like that, it's not even
scary.
It's clowny, man. It's not even you're not even doing it for real. Like when David Bowie did it, like I'm a fan.
He looks like Bette Midler in the throes of menopause. Like, just,
yeah, he does.
It's just, and it's winning. It's just getting the best of her.
Yo, he looked like Bette Midler on like some serious Xanax. Like she had too many Xanax.
Is that the same guy?
Yeah, that's him now.
Oh, this is him now?
Oh man, at least
Skinny him is now, or big, scary, bloated him is now?
No, that's him now.
yeah, but he's not with the makeup now.
Oh,
Yeah, but
lordy.
I know, but
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
glad he made it here to Yogurt Day. I have to be positive. He's very
all right. On yogurt day, we're gonna wrap it up.
eager.
Guys, do me a favor. Make the ChristopherTitus.com page your homepage. Click through the Amazon link when you're going to buy something through Amazon because you help us out. We keep the podcast up and running. It costs at least $4 a week to keep this thing up and running. So please kick in. Also, if you guys want some kick-ass DVDs that are all 90 minutes, go to ChristopherTitus.com. If you want some kick-ass hot rod wear and cool leather jackets, go to CombustionSpeedwear.com.
If you want some kick-ass diamonds, go to Tiffany's.
Do you like diamonds?
I just had to bring it back around. I love diamonds.
There you go. That's what I want. I wanted the voice.
Super awesome.
So you guys are going to Montana. I've decided I'm not going to Montana.
Yeah, come on.
No, I ain't going to Montana.
Come on.
No, first of all, ain't no plane big enough to get me to Montana,
Good
man.
point.
You know, my knees are going
I'm
to be
feeling
up
the
my
same
nose.
way.
I know, man. I'm almost as tall as you are.
You, man. Oh, yeah. Okay. Right.
All right, bring it home, boys. Bring it home.
All right, guys. We will be in Bozeman, Billings, and Missoula this weekend.
Billings, Bozeman, and Missoula, in that order.
Bozeman, and Missoula. Just look it up. Go to ChristopherTitus.com. It's on the website, right?
Yes, it is.
All right. For myself, Bombshell Rae and Willie Jello Johnson. Later.
Peace out.
Jello. Yo, man, you didn't say fetus. Yo, fetus, say goodbye.
See ya.
Oh, man.